What up, world? Established Rich coming right back at you. Listen, what we are witnessing between Dame Dash and Camron is not just a feud. It's not just some petty beef. It's a full-blown tragedy happening right before our eyes.
He ain't lying.
Dame Dash, the man who once stood as a symbol of power, the man who preached honor, loyalty, and codes, the man who built with Jay-Z, with Biggs, the man who built the blueprint for independence. And now, he out here waving a $300 million demand at her like it's an album cover. He's out here comparing Camron to Fredo from The Godfather. He's out here saying, this is how you handle it. No, this is how you look foolish. This is how you turn your legacy into a lawsuit. This is how you become the same cautionary tale you said you would never be. Now listen, Dame went on Instagram, posted the documents, posted the captions, posted his threats. $300 million for defamation, for harassment, for business disparagement, and for historic sabotage. Do you hear this? Do you understand how wild it sounds? Because to the outside world, this don't sound like a man defending his honor. It sounds like a man using the courts because he lost the war of words. And when you claim you live by honor, by codes, when you been claiming you built different, when you claim you not like the other guys, now you running to the judge, running to the lawyers.
Come on, dawg.
Dame goes on ChatGPT and writes up a demand letter to Camron for a $300 million lawsuit. That's right, Dame wants 300 M's from Camron. Now let's actually get into the lawsuit. Dame starts off by posting this text he sent to Cam. He said, I suggest you send this to Dash, and you went too far. You broke my heart, Fredo. We can squash this, but you have to holler at Daniel. I'm not talking to you anymore. The lawsuit says formal demand for $300 million in damages for defamation, torturous interference, business disparagement, harassment, conspiracy, and unjust enrichment. Dear Mr. Giles, this office represents Damon Dash, Raquel Horn, and the Dash Group. Please be advised that this letter constitutes a formal demand for immediate corrective action and compensation arising from your unlawful actions. Defamation of Damon Dash. You made repeated public statements, including on Instagram, falsely calling Mr. Dash a liar and undermining his credibility in connection with bosses take losses and other business dealings. You admitted on video that the entire situation was a lineup, thereby conceding participation in reputational sabotage. These actions interfered with Mr. Dash's business negotiations, defamation and harassment of Raquel Horn. You published social media posts falsely stating that Damon Dash owns nothing and that all assets are in Miss Horn's name. You disparaged Miss Horn personally, causing humiliation, reputational harm, and emotional distress.
Dame Dash has built his whole identity on being real, being solid, on being a guy who don't bend, break, or fold. But let me ask you this. What's real about filing a lawsuit on a man? What's solid about bringing up a man's mama? What's honorable about making your wife and your kids part of a public feud? You can't tell me you all about codes and then violate the very codes you preach. You can't tell me you built different and then move just like the people you criticize. Now let's talk about Cam. Camron has been throwing shots. He called Dame a liar. He's been saying your words don't mean nothing. And he been clowning him about his teeth. So let me be clear. Cam ain't innocent. He said some wild things too. But here's the difference. When Cam speaks, people laugh. People shrug. People say, oh, that's just Cam being Cam. But when Dame speaks, people cringe. People say, what the hell is he talking about? And that's the problem. Dame is supposed to be above this. He's supposed to be the OG. He's supposed to be the teacher. Instead, he looks like the student who lost his lesson. Now let's get to the dirty part. Why did Dame bring up Cam's mom? He posted about her. He said she was living in a studio apartment. Cam was not taking care of her. And right there, that's where I lost all respect for Dame. Because families are supposed to be off limits. When you bring them into the beef, you lose, period. No matter what the facts are. And this is the saddest part of all. Once upon a time, people looked at Dame as a role model. The guy who told you to own your masters. The guy who told you to never work for nobody. The guy who stood up to Def Jam, stood up to corporate America. But now, he looked like a dude who's suing for clout. He looked like a man who posting like a teenager. He looks like a man who lost the very honor he used to preach about. And that's why this is a cautionary tale. When you do not know how to let go, when you don't know how to move on, when you don't know how to be quiet, you turn your legacy into a joke. And that's exactly what's happening with Dame. But listen, it ain't just about Dame. It ain't just about Cam. This is about the message it sends to the culture. When two legends, two Harlem icons, are out here tearing each other down publicly, what does that tell the next generation? It tells them that petty sells. It tells them that honor is just words. It tells them that feuds mean more than family. And we can't let that be the lesson. So I'm gonna leave you with this. Dame Dash could have walked away. Could have let Cam talk. He could have just stayed silent. But he didn't. He wanted to keep talking. He wanted to keep posting. He wanted to file a $300 million lawsuit. And now he looks like the very thing he used to criticize. A man who can't live by his own words. And listen, legacy is not built on how loud you can talk. Legacy is built on how you walk. And right now, Dame Dash is walking backwards. But hey, that's just my opinion. What's yours? Like, comment, subscribe, establish rich. I'll be back with another one. Peace.